We tend to think that prisons are more or less the same everywhere. Typically, we imagine a secured facility with a lot of mean people inside, surrounded by steep walls, barbed wire, security cameras, and armed guards everywhere. We can even depict some prisons as more crowded or poor than others, depending on where they are. Yet prisons in today's video are radically different. From a prison with a compulsory dancing program, restaurant training programs with real customers, and open facilities, we brought you the most insane prison systems, which got us the 10 most unusual prisons in the world. It doesn't matter if you believe that criminals deserve punishment or you desire a more humane penal system. We're sure all of these prisons will blow your mind. Some are faulty, others are innovative, but all of them are incredibly different. So come with us today and learn more about these prisons. We're sure you'll be surprised. And hey, if we want dozens of millions of people incarcerated back on track, we need to start getting creative, right? Alright, let's get through this. Number 10. Cebu Prison, Philippines. At the 10th spot, we found a prison with a unique fitness and well-being program. Inmates at the Cebu Prison in the Philippines dance away from their misdeeds. Since 2006, Byron Garcia started a compulsory dance program to help prisoners to rehabilitate. K-pop, Michael Jackson, Elvis, and Village People are part of the morning routines of hundreds of inmates in this facility. Cebu Prison is the highest security one in the Philippines, where the most violent and dangerous criminals spend their convictions. Yet, Mr. Garcia's unorthodox approach won the Disruptor Award in 2011 after showing evidence of behavioral change and reduction of internal violence. Although not free of criticisms for human rights groups and former inmates, the Cebu Prison offered an interesting twist for the justice system globally. Could dance change people's bad habits? Number 9. Bastøy Island Low Security Prison, Norway. At the 9th spot, we have the world's first eco-friendly prison. Sure, we didn't think about it before. As long as we need criminals to reform, it isn't necessary to destroy the planet while doing it, right? Norway understood this issue quite clearly. Despite the fact that they have one of the smallest prison systems in the world, kudos to the modern day advances, Vikings. The Bastøy Island prison uses solar panels for energy, produces most of its food, and recycles everything. The solar panels offer 70% of their facility's power. Bastøy has also tapped grants from environmental bodies to help produce high-quality organic food. Moreover, the prison fields are an income source. Other prisons buy fresh organic products from Bastøy. Unlike other prison systems that put a heavy burden on contributors, Bastøy's model offers a more sustainable way to help law offenders to reinsert. Some would say this kind of comfortable prison isn't really delivering justice. But do we want justice or glorified revenge? Number 8. Aranjuez Prison, Spain. At the 8th spot, we brought you an intriguing yet shocking prison in Spain. Spain claims to have the only family prison in the world, yet we aren't sure that's necessarily good. The Aranjuez prison offers something unique. The Spanish government designed it with families in mind. The concept is simple yet puzzling. Children need to bond with their incarcerated parents during their sentence, and criminals will eventually be free and need to resume their parenting roles effectively. Aranjuez offers parenting training, 36 family-friendly cells, playgrounds, and a nursery. For convicted criminals with children under the age of 3, Aranjuez offers cells stocked with cribs, kids' toys, and walls plastered with Disney characters. The kids themselves are also able to attend the nursery school, ride tricycles, and basically just be normal little kids. Moms and dads are kept together whenever possible, and the goal is to teach them parenting and life skills in hopes that they'll be able to normally readjust to society. If their sentence doesn't finish before the kids grow older than 3, they're handed over to the state or relatives, and parents will be stuck back in regular cell. Unsurprisingly, this sometimes leads to parents cheating by trying to get pregnant again before their current kid gets too old. As controversial as it is to incarcerate small children, Spanish officials believe it's crucial to help keep families together as much as possible. The important question, would it help prevent more crime? Number 7. Sark Prison, UK. At the 7th spot, we found the smallest prison in the world. Sark Island is a small British territory with a population of approximately 500 people, so it isn't surprising that they have the smallest prison on the planet. However, it's shocking it's a bit too tiny. The Sark prison holds only 2 people, which is ridiculous if you ask me. The prison is very old and dates from the 16th century when the Spanish army was getting close. In some way, the Sark mini prison was an eccentric answer to the invasion threat. Still can't imagine if it was some sort of symbolic threat against the enemy. Legends about the prison abound, and researchers have documented many bizarre customs regarding the prisoners. For instance, the story of a young girl who stole a handkerchief who remained as a prisoner for 3 long days with a cell door open. According to the records, the mischievous thief was completely reformed after the punishment. Tiny, but effective. I still can't believe this thing exists. Number 6. Black Dolphin Prison, Russia. At the 6th spot, we found a prison with the worst name possible for the ultimate maximum security prison in Russia. Black Dolphin almost sounds like a friendly companion, but it's actually the name of the most infamous prison in Russia. The most dangerous criminals convicted for the most heinous of crimes that we can imagine are imprisoned in Black Dolphin Prison. The prison is in southwestern Russia, close to Kazakhstan's border, close to Solisek. One of the most peculiar things about the prison, officially named the Penal Colony No. 6, is the way that prisoners move inside the facility. Guards keep prisoners blindfolded and bent over at the waist while holding their handcuffed hands behind their back higher than the hip. The strange maneuver is devised to keep prisoners from learning how to move inside the prison, so they can't escape. Number 5. Kresty Prison, Russia. For spot number 5, we found the prison on the outskirts of St. Petersburg, worthy of Dostoevsky's darkest material. The prison was moved in 2006, as it held multiple times of the intended capacity. Designed for pre-trial detentions, it had enough cells for 1,150 people. Yet, during the mid-1990s, Kresty held more than 12,500 prisoners. Inmates were allotted 4 square meters of space and only allowed to shower for 15 minutes each week. As we can imagine, such an overcrowded prison led to poor sanitary conditions and violence. It was a sad destiny for an 18th wine warehouse. Number 4. ADX Florence, Colorado. For spot number 4, we brought you ADX Florence in Colorado, USA. It's a maximum security facility holding the most despicable criminals, many of them waiting for execution. Inmates can only spend 9 hours a day out of their cells, and interaction is extremely restricted. Cells are poured concrete, not only the walls and ceilings, the furniture too. Number 3. Fortezza Medicea, Italy. At the 3rd spot, we found a prison with a high rehab power, although a bit eccentric. Fortezza Medicea is an 8th century old Italian fortress. As external threats became less relevant, the fortress became a prison eventually. Currently, it opens its gates 8 times per year as a restaurant. For $50, you can get a delicious and fancy dinner served by convicted felons. Although most people would avoid such a restaurant, the Fortezza has been always in high demand and caters to the most demanding customers. Yet, we're sure no one treats harshly none of these waiters. Most of the money goes to charity, but prisoners' culinary training has been demonstrating useful. Many of the inmates have actually found employment in restaurants after serving their time here, and even some of them opened their own restaurants. Now get ready for today's best pick, an infamous prison hidden in South America. Best pick number 2, San Pedro Prison, Bolivia. Many Latin American prisons are extremely corrupt, so much that prisoners rule organized crime using their cells as their strongholds, protected by dirty cops and their personal armies. But San Pedro Prison is an entirely different level. San Pedro Prison resembles more of a village than a prison. Children are playing inside, you can see market stalls here and there, and even a few restaurants. You might feel confused after looking at the officers and barreled cells, because you won't be able to find any of them. Yet the most shocking bit about San Pedro is that inmates pay for their cells. A good cell can cost as much as $1,500, and prisoners are the rightful owners of their cells for the duration of their sentence. While the wealthiest inmates can get comfortable cells, the poorer ones share cells with several prisoners. Allegedly, illegal narcotic labs are inside San Pedro, which employs most inmates. The prison has faced serious closing threats, but Bolivian political and social instability have put the priorities far from the eccentric inmate-ruled prison.
Before we move on, I've got a little challenge for you that will take just 5 seconds to complete. So here's the deal. You just leave a like on this video, smash that subscribe button, and hit the notification bell and you get 25 years of amazing luck. Try it. It really works.
Number 1. APAC Prison, Brazil. At the first spot, we have the most disrupting prison we have ever found. The APAC prison in Brazil is unique. A group of Brazilian Catholics created this prison to offer a more human way out of crime. Since 1972, the Association for Protection and Assistance to Convicts, APAC, has opened 49 facilities across 4 countries. APAC prisons aren't for everyone, though inmates used to show remorse and the intention to get back on track. As an inmate gets inside APAC, they are christened as recovering persons instead. Work and study are sacred, so recovering persons can't stay in their cells most of the time. Additionally, they can wear as they like, cook, and have keys to get in and out of the building. The most shocking thing for us, APAC has been a success, with low rates of incidents, less expensive budgets, and more actual recovered people. With APAC, we close today's amazing rankings, and we hope you found it as interesting as we did. We are sure there are a lot of better ways to get people back on track. The prison system is broken, and the world can learn a lot from these eccentric prisons we've found, don't you think? Now keep watching some of our best content here on your favorite channel. My name's Donovan, see you next time.